In this video, we're going to talk about simple diffusion. Simple diffusion is going to be a form of passive transport. If you have not already watched my video on passive transport, I'm going to recommend that you go watch that, and you can find the link to that video in the description for this video. So passive transport is going to be the movement of particles down a concentration gradient. And we can see this concentration gradient model here. We have a high concentration, a low concentration. And if we're moving down the concentration gradient, we're going from a high concentration to a low concentration. Since this is passive transport, it's also not going to use energy. It's not going to require ATP. And if we're talking about diffusion across a cell membrane, this is going to be small, uncharged particles that can cross directly through the cell membrane. If particles are too large or they have a charge, then they can't cross the cell membrane. By simple diffusion, they'll need to cross by facilitated diffusion, and I have another video about that. Alright, so here we have a container, and we have a high concentration of particles over here, and a low concentration over here. And an example of this could be you spray perfume in a room, and you have a high concentration in one area, and a low concentration in another area. So what's going to happen here? These particles are going to move down the concentration gradient from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration until we have an equal concentration in all areas of this room. It's going to spread out. We could also have simple diffusion across a cell membrane. So this dotted line here is representing our cell membrane. And these particles, remember, if they're going to cross by simple diffusion, they need to be small, uncharged particles. And if we have a high concentration, let's say this side is our extracellular fluid, it's outside the cell, and this side is our intracellular fluid, it's inside the cell. Well, these particles, we have a high concentration outside, a low concentration inside. They're going to cross by simple diffusion across the cell membrane. They're going to go down the concentration gradient from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration, and they're going to spread out until we have an equal concentration on both sides of the cell membrane.